Hi everyone, this video is going to do a quick walkthrough this tutorial that you can find uh, that website. Really thorough tutorial, but as things change over time, there's a couple of subtle things that might need to be updated. So this is um, as of March 2020, and it's primarily going to focus on doing this tutorial on an Expo managed React Native application. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a new project. So I'm going to pretty much start from scratch. So we'll just call this React Native Firebase Demo 2020. And I am going to go ahead and open this in VS Code. So go from open folder to the one I just created, and it is empty, but I can go and initialize this project. So this is going to take a couple of minutes. And really the main thing that has changed is probably some UI things in the actual Firebase console, as well as the React navigation stack. And so if you have been having issues getting the dependencies correct, this is the video for you. So we'll just wait for this to finish initializing. And I'm going to go slightly out of order instead of going through the whole tutorial as it is. I'm going to install all the dependencies first, and then I'll go back and I'll start filling in some of the details. Instead of using React Native, we're going to be using Expo CLI, and there's going to be various references to Yarn. We're going to use the Node package manager instead, npm. But most of the stuff will transfer, and there's going to be one small thing later as well in regards to there's something that's iOS specific, and we're going to make that general for both iOS and Android. Okay, so it has finished initializing, so I'm going to make sure I'm inside the correct project, and I'm going to install some of these components that we need. First one's going to be Firebase. This whole tutorial walks you through it, and so you see Yarn add Firebase, but for me, I'm going to be using npm install Firebase. Let that run, and after that, I'm going to focus on getting the React navigation parts installed. As that's installing, the React navigation has just changed slightly. I'm not quite sure exactly when that happened, but the stack navigation used to be built into React navigation, but now it's its own package. And so if you look at the documentation for React navigation, we're pretty much going to follow along with this one. So in here, we're going to add React navigation. And then instead of trying to get all of the specific dependencies, we're going to use this giant install instead. So we're going to start with npm install React navigation. And And we will also go here, install all of these guys, copy, paste. And lastly, I'm actually also going to install React Navigation Stack. So that'll be as soon as this is done. And that should be it for the actual setup for the project. So from here on out, we're going to be focusing on getting all the correct files created and running this thing. We also need to go into Firebase and create our database. So let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna go through it pretty quick since you guys can go right into this tutorial and follow along. So after we do all the installation and setup, we need to create um, our folder structure, which is going to be our source code in source. And inside source, we want another folder called components, where all our components are going to go. And we also want one called screens inside. There we go. And inside of the screens are going to be the three main screens in this application, which are going to be home.js, add item.js, and list.js. And you can pretty much just copy and paste all of these right into those. So home, add item. And this is not the final application. As you kind of follow along, the tutorial is going to start modifying these. We've already taken care of these, so we can go past them, and then you'll see that finally we go into app.js and create our stack navigation and all that good stuff. So at this point, we can go ahead and try to run this thing, see what happens. Tunnel URL not found. Let's try that again. Okay, tunnel ready. I'm gonna be pulling this up on my mobile device, so you probably won't be able to see the specifics, but um, I'm just doing this to confirm that the application did run correctly. Oh, I forgot to click on tunnel. Let's do that again. So I'm gonna scan the QR code. Should build my JavaScript bundle. And off it goes. It is slowly building. Okay. And so The error that I'm getting is what I alluded to earlier, saying that React Navigation Stack has moved. And so what we need to do is change the import to import from the correct module. So I'm going to take that, copy it again, and we want create app navigator. We still want that to import from React Navigation, but we want Stack Navigator to install from Navigation Stack. And that should take care of that last little issue. So I'm going to go ahead and build the application again from my phone that you can't see